Welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before, this is Movie Readings, where I take entire Hollywood scripts and read them on audio right here on YouTube. This is an interactive channel, so if there is a movie script you would like to hear in the near future, go ahead and comment it below. I hope you enjoy this movie reading of NIGHTCRAWLER from 2014. Infinity of stars over barren ground. If not for a billboard, it could be the moon. The camera pushes over a rim to show Los Angeles, shimmering in night heat, thrum of civilization. A freeway feeds into the city as a semi blasts by, and we cut to the city from closer, Oz-like and magical. We cut to postcard views of Los Angeles, now inside the city. Beverly Hills framed against mountains, looking down from Mulholland. Boulevard lights like strings of pearls. Desert clarity. We cut to the LA River. It flows darkly before us. The camera rises above a flood channel to a fenced industrial area where Lou Bloom is a silhouette against the city glow, using bolt cutters to rip down a square of chain link fence, muscling it into the back of a beat-up car, as he hears something and turns to see headlights approaching in the distance. Lou slamming the trunk as the lights sweep, and we see him. 30s, pure primal id. If there's music, it's in his head, disconnected. He is feral, driven by dollar signs and a dream of some imagined Eden, as a pickup truck stops and a man gets out, framed in headlights, wearing a utility belt with mace and handcuffs. "What are you doing out here?" "I'm lost." "This is a restricted area." I didn't know that. There's no signs." "They're everywhere. Let's see some ID." "Why?" "Because there's a broken gate back there and you're trespassing." "Excuse me, but that gate was open, sir. I was under the opinion that this was a detour." "What kind of uniform is that?" "I'll ask the fucking questions." Lou seeing a security emblem on the man's sleeve. "Private outfit, huh? I tried to get one of those jobs. I like guarding things." Pulling his license. "Here you go, sir. I think what happened is I must have just gotten turned around." The man reaches for Lou's license, and we go close on a chunky watch on the man's wrist. Minute hand ticking 1:19 a.m. Lou attacks, fight going to the ground, dust rising into the headlights, and we cut to Lou's car, gliding along an endless valley boulevard. Shut stores and deserted parking lots. Streetlights on every empty corner, like a movie set waiting for the next day's shooting. Lou's hand shifts on the steering wheel as he admires the guard's watch on his wrist. Industrial roar bleeding in. We cut to a giant machine eating cars at the edge of the valley. Night crew craning junkers into grinding blades as inside the office, Lou speaks to the scrapyard owner over the noise. "I guesstimate I have 50 pounds of copper wire, 100 pounds of chain link, and 2 manhole covers, the nice thick ones." "I'll give 50 cents a pound for the wires, 15 for the fence, 10 for the covers." "That's below market value." "Market value? You know the cops came by asking about the manhole covers." "I'd like to counter at $1 a pound for the copper, 30 cents a pound for the fence, and 20 per for the covers." "Sell them somewhere else." "I'd feel good at 75, 25, and 15. "I'm not negotiating with you." "I think we're close. We're done. Take it or leave it." "I'm willing to take less to establish a business relationship. If that's your last, best offer, then I guess I accept." "Drive around and unload them." "Sir, excuse me. I'm looking for a job. In fact, I've made up my mind to find a career I can learn and grow into. Who am I? I'm a hard worker. I set high goals, and I've been told I'm persistent. Now, I'm not fooling myself, sir. Having been raised with the self-esteem movement so popular in schools, I used to expect my needs to be considered. But I now know that today's work culture no longer caters to the job loyalty that could be promised to earlier generations. What I believe, sir, is that good things come to those who work their asses off, and that people such as yourself who reach the top of the mountain didn't just fall there. My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. Did I say I worked in a garage? Sir, I think you and I could work well together, so how about it? I could start tomorrow, or even why not tonight? The scrapyard owner fills out a form, muttering, no. How about an internship then? A lot of young people are taking unpaid positions to get a foot in the door. That's something I'd be willing to do. I'm not hiring a fucking thief. In the dead of night, Lou alone in his car, driving an LA freeway, windows down, clock blinking at 3:44 a.m. An ad on the radio. Lou sees an accident up ahead and passes. 2 highway patrolmen are trying to pull an unconscious woman from a blazing car. Lou angles to the shoulder, getting out to look as the police helicopter searchlights stab the dark. Lou drawn to the scene as a big panel van stops on the shoulder, and 2 men jump out, one in charge, tough and indifferent, the other an employee. Both wear shirts with a logo that reads Mayhem Video. The man in charge, Joe Loader, carrying a professional camcorder and filming as the employee yells, "We're first! Get a view in the car." The men film the cops trying to free the woman in the burning car, as Lou looks inside their van and sees a dozen scanners. Blinking and blaring emergency comm chatter. 2 laptops set to GPS, Los Angeles crime and tragedy tracked on high-def screens, and surround sound. For Lou, the effect is electrifying. As the police chopper banks low, the cops smash glass, and the camera guys film. As an SUV skids to a stop, and a man and a woman jump out and film. Lou looks inside the SUV and regards an array of emergency scanners and laptops. We cut to 10 minutes later, and the 2 camera crews have been shunted from the wreck, filming the departure of the wailing ambulance. The action is over. They head to their vehicles. Lou following Joe Loader. "Excuse me, this'll be on TV?" "Morning news." "What channel?" "Whoever pays the most." "What do you get for something like this?" "Not much. Enough to buy all that gear. It's a flaming asshole of a job." "How do you sell what you shoot?" Joe ignoring him, loading equipment in the van. "Can I ask you, are you currently hiring?" "No." "Well, thank you for taking the time to discuss what you do. You've been very helpful." Joe hears a call on scanners. 211 on Rosencrantz, in progress. They jump in the van and leave. The SUV follows, as Lou stands by the smoking car. Traffic passing. Police stringing yellow tape around the crash site, and cut to an orange glow, against an anthracite sky. Night black, tinting day blue, as the rim of the sun crests the mountains ringing Los Angeles. Light strikes patch fog carpeting the basin, angles to a black ocean. We are looking at the west of 1,000,000 years ago, and cut to a forest of high-gain antennas. Rising hundreds of feet above the peak of Mount Wilson, every TV and radio station broadcasting from up here. The sound of competing manic morning TV news themes filters in, a symphonic jumble of bass-heavy opuses, as we cut to a satellite dish on the roof of a crappy Lego block LA apartment complex, set amid LA poverty sprawl. A cable is spliced into the TV box with duct tape as we follow the pirated cable down the wall. Medley of morning TV news themes reduced to a single soaring score as we follow the cable into Lou's apartment. One shitty room, near empty and neat, perfectly made bed, a few pressed shirts hanging on a pipe, an old computer, Lou watering a weedy plant on the windowsill, watching a TV set, on a milk crate, as an LA morning news show begins. In high definition, this is KLAX 2 News at 6 a.m., the #1 morning news in all of Southern California. Others may claim to be your local choice, but more Southlanders get their news here on KLAX2, your home for exclusive stories, live and local, with traffic, weather, and sports. LA's real local HD news source. Two plastic people appear. Heavy makeup, mock cheer. Good morning, I'm Lauren Delgado. And I'm Brandon Clark. An unclaimed Mega Million Dollar ticket sold at 7-Eleven in San Diego is worth a whopping $266 million. Is it yours? Lou changing it to another AM news show with older anchors. It's been 1 week since Officer Michael Haley was gunned down, and new evidence has police hunting for one of their own. A fast-moving bank robber in Sylmar didn't move fast enough and will explain how the FBI caught up with him. Lou changing channels to two caffeinated news anchors. A landmark court decision, Carl, has cyber music fans singing the blues. Ouch. I might have to budget more for my music. Lou changing channels to another LA morning news show. Hairsprayed anchors. Reading news against glossy graphics until something catches Lou's attention and he stops at KWLA Morning News. Lower rent than its competitors. Ken doll anchorman and pin-up anchorwoman peddling unvarnished fear and mayhem. With a buildup of gas, the threat of a catastrophic explosion in the Fairfax district grows more likely by the hour. Twisted Metal, a shattered life, all caught on tape last night at the scene of a fiery one-car collision on the 605. We see the footage. Of the crash Lou saw. It fills the screen. The fiery car. Cops pulling the woman from the wreckage. A red banner reads, KWLA exclusive. Melinda Flores of Yorba Linda was severely burned, but escaped with her life, thanks to the incredible bravery of two CHP officers. The crash started a fire that quickly consumed the vehicle. As we can see in an exclusive KWLA video, CHP officers Mike Tully and Ken Wu risked their lives, saving the single mom. Flores was transferred to St. Joseph's Hospital in extremely critical condition with severe burns over nearly 80% of her body. A commercial plays. We cut to the bright sun, a white glare on the sand, people riding bikes and jogging and rollerblading in Venice, where we find Lou sitting on a wall watching. A man in a spandex bicycle outfit locks his racing bike, enters a juice store. Lou crosses and picks the bike lock. We cut to a pawn shop where Lou is showing the bike to the owner. I don't know. I'll give you $500. This is a custom racing bike, sir, designed for competitive road cycling. This bike has a lightweight space-age carbon frame, handlebars positioned to put the rider in a more aerodynamic posture. It also has micro shifters, 37 gears, and weighs under 6 pounds. I won the Tour to Mexico on this bike. $700. High as I'll go. It cost me over $8,000 new. $700. $2,500. That's giving it away. No bike has got 37 gears. $2,000. Nope. Could I please speak with your boss, please? I'm the owner. How about $800 in store credit? What are you looking for? A camcorder and a police scanner? The moon rises over LA. Emergency radio chatter drums over the city. Non-stop police band as the moon inches over LA. We cut to Lou, sitting in his beat-up car, listening to the jumble of police code. Call signs on a second-hand scanner. Lou has a cheap camcorder and a map of LA, and no idea what or where anything is happening until... Any Hollenbeck units 415? Fight at 13932 Tularosa Drive. Suspect number 1, male black. Suspect number 2, male black juvenile. Code 2, incident 3674, RD 1145. Lou checking the map, pulling into traffic, and cut to Tularosa Drive. It's framed by squat apartment buildings and palms, swaying against the night as Lou drives by. He sees a stopped police cruiser with its bubble lights blinking. We cut to a bloodied black man sitting on the sidewalk, no shirt, hands flex-cuffed behind him. 2 cops talking with a crying and bloodied teenage boy. As Lou double parks, jumps out and comes up filming, circling close. "Who are you?" "Freelance." "What are you doing?" "Filming for TV." "Back away." "What's happening?" From Lou's camera point of view, he pans from the crying teenager to the bloodied guy in flex cuffs, to the cops looking increasingly confused and irritated. "I said turn around and leave. I'm fairly sure that I'm allowed to film this." "Film what?" "I don't know. What's going on?" "Walk away or get arrested for obstruction." Lou backing away as he keeps filming, and cut to later. Lou drives as the scanner spits out codes and calls, trouble touching down like a tornado stalled over LA. We cut to later. Lou at a fender bender, cops not into his filming. "Excuse me, what's a 1017? What's a 1012? "Leave. I'm not telling you again." Lou at a gas station, hose to his overheating radiator. The car door opens, police radio cranked loud, cacophony of police calls, until "All Wilshire units, 211 just occurred. Shots at Western and First, 2 male suspects, no description. Code 2, incident 1779, RD 4512. Lou yanking the hose, slamming the hood. Cuts to Western and Third. It's blocked by squad cars and ambulances. A major crime scene developing. Lou's car stops on the fringe. He gets out filming. Lou's camera point of view. Cops chalk circle bullet shells on pavement. Other cops direct traffic as Lou hurries towards paramedics, doing chest compressions on a man in the street. Lou hurries around a cameraman filming from a disrespectful distance, closer and closer, until he's directly over the paramedics, filming something we don't see. Agonizing moans. The cop sees Lou. "Get back, 100 feet, back!" Lou is shoved away. Cops push the other cameraman from the scene, unrolling yellow police tape. "Fucking asshole, you shut it down." The cameraman kills the light on his high-end camera. "Had a great fucking angle till you crowded in. Take your dumb ass and get the fuck home. There's fucking people working out here. Fucking asshole." The man crosses to a panel van, opens a door, and Lou sees the scanners and computer screens of the trade. The man hands the camera to his partner, who downloads the footage onto a computer, one man editing, as the other man speed dials his cell. "Yeah, it's Ace Video. You want to start rolling to Koreatown. Your lead's gonna be at Western and First. Yeah, shooting. I got some good shots of a victim being treated. LAPD hasn't released it, but a manager at Walgreens says it's a carjacking. The victim, the owner. He's Asian and critical. I got 60 seconds cut with a quote from the manager and a neighbor. You're exclusive for 500. Okay, so make a counter. 400? 300. Done. The man sees Lou listening, slams the door. Cut to a Los Angeles TV station. In the high numbers on Sunset, neon sign flickering against the night. KWLA-TV, Television Center. Inside the station, Lou enters the newsroom, where a night shift skeleton crew is cobbling together the morning broadcast. Lou moving unnoticed through the open room, eyes taking in everything. A half-dozen writers typing copy in cubicles. The assignment editor conferencing with reporters. 2 hair-straightened women and a teeth-bleached man. Overhearing bits of conversation. We're leading with the fire in Downey. She wants a stand-up in every story. Lou drawn to a glass wall, peering at the KWLA news set. With its sleek news desks and sweeping LA backdrops, studio-grade cameras and teleprompters and green screens, a bright, small faux island in a cavernous, black-shadowed soundstage. Lou is drawn to voices from a room down the hall. We cut to the KWLA editing bay, dark and dingy. An editor works at a console with 2 screens. A woman stands over him. Nina Romina is a veteran of 3 decades in the blood sport that is local TV news. She's 50-ish, overmade, hard-bitten beauty who began in front of a camera and has now, through sheer survival, become the madam of the whorehouse. To the editor, put the neighbor here, the kids with their mother, by the door. Get it from back at 2:16. Editor scrolling footage to stop at 2 saucer-eyed girls, huddled by a woman talking through a barred door. It was probably like 10:30 or 11, and she told me she heard a girl yelling, so she knew something was wrong, and then bang, she's like, wow, maybe that got something to do with what happened. And I mean, he was nice. I used to see him all the time. Cut from she heard yelling to then a bang. Then I want to lay over some gnat sound. Let's loop the neighbor's dog barking and then try taking a crying kid from B-roll, drop that in the background. Nina sees Lou at the door. You my fill-in operator? I don't think so. I shot some footage. For sale? A stringer? What? Who do you work for? At the moment I work for myself. See Frank out there, the way you came. To the editor. What's the time to? 1:06. The slot's 56. Trim the header 4. Nina sips coffee as the editor trims a shot of police tape against a smashed apartment door, glancing back as Lou leaves. What do you have? Something I'm fairly certain you'll be excited about. What is it? It's a shooting. The man is shot, several times in fact. He's lying on the ground. He's bleeding on the ground. Would be surprised if he survived, honestly. He was shot during a carjacking. From Western and First? Yeah, that's right. I heard 7 had the exclusive. No, I was there. I was much closer to what was happening. Well, let's see it. Lou hands her his camcorder. You can watch it on the little screen. You've never done this before. Yes. No, I'm just starting. The editor connects Lou's camera to the editing console and Lou's camcorder. It plays an image of Lou outside the pawn shop, aiming the camcorder at himself, just peering into camera. You can fast forward through this. The editor fast forwarding through Lou's video log, past the flex-tied black guy, past the cop yelling at him to leave. Lou's arrival at Motor in Washington comes up. Editor slowing to real time, and we see Lou's camera, point of view. The crime scene, cops chalk-circling bullets, Lou elbowing past the other cameraman, filming from a respectful distance. Moans of the as-yet unseen victims as Lou comes in right over the paramedic's shoulder and close on the shot man. With a gaping head wound, blood everywhere. Footage so violent. And immediately, the editor recoils. Oh, fuck. Nina glances from the screen to Lou, unblinking gaze, impassive, watching his work. She dials a phone. I need you to see something. Nina hangs up, watches the screen as Lou is shoved back by the police. Frank Cruz, brisk and capable, enters the editing bay. Lou Bloom, Frank Cruz, our assignment editor. Play it back. Frank watching Lou's footage and winces at the gore. That's the lead. I want to break it up and do a wraparound from the scene. Let's get Jewel rolling. I want a walking stand-up. Teaser at 5, repeat on the half. I want the copy to start with a warning. You're going to show this? With a warning? It's excessive. We should have packages like this every day. People are eating breakfast. And they'll talk about it at work. Tie it in with the carjacking last month in Glendale. And the other one with the van in Palms. When was that? March. It's a carjacking crime wave. That's the banner. Call the victim's family, get a quote. Mic it. You know what to do. To Lou. How much? Well, I'm selling this particular piece for $10,000. I think at that price there's a lot of value in it for you. Not even close. This late you have nowhere else to go. The quality's for shit. I'll give you $1,000. That's the most I'll do. Now let's get you paid. Lou is alone in the newsroom bullpen, looking around as Nina comes in, hands him a check. Buy some better equipment, a directional mic. Get interviews when you can. You have a good eye. Thank you. I'm just beginning, so praise from someone such as yourself, well, you can imagine it means quite a lot. I'll help any way I can, and of course, you can help by calling us first. I want you to contact me when you have something. Something like this? That's right. Bloody? That's only part of it. We like crime. Not all crime. Carjacking in Compton, for example. That isn't news, now is it? We find our viewers are more interested in urban crime creeping into the suburbs. What that means is a victim or victims, preferably well-off and white, injured at the hands of the poor, or a minority. Just crime? No, accidents play, cars, buses, trains, planes, fires, even suicides. But bloody. Graphic. The best and clearest way that I can phrase it to you, Lou, to capture the spirit of what we air, is to think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut. I understand. I've always been a fast learner. You'll be seeing me again. I believe you. A TV commercial begins and ends. The KWLA theme song crashes in and cuts to Lou's apartment. A DVD recorder is patched to the TV as the KWLA morning broadcast erupts. Full-frame banner reading, "Breaking News, Carjacking Crime Wave." The anchors appear, suitably breathless. A traffic store visit to help his ailing wife claiming the life of a loving husband last night in East Los Angeles. Reporting from the scene is Joel Beatty. The reporter begins a walking stand-up toward the police-taped crime scene. An act of kindness turned into a savage, deadly attack outside this market on Western and First at 2 a.m. when 68-year-old Richard Cho of Mar Vista was walking towards his car with a prescription for his sick wife. He was confronted right here by a black male with a 9mm handgun, who police believe tried to take his vehicle. The vicious tragedy and senselessness of the brutal shooting, as well as the victim's last moments, were captured in graphic footage we are about to air. Viewer discretion is advised. Lou's footage comes on full screen, sound sweetened, filling a full 30 seconds of the broadcast, ending with the bloody images of the mortally wounded man. We pull back to the show. Lou is inches from the TV screen watching his work. News broadcast moving on to another tragedy, as we cut to later. Lou downloading the segment onto his laptop, labeling the file, "Carjacking Crime Wave." We cut to later, as the police scanner plays in Lou's apartment. Lou looking up police code definitions online. We cut to a diner. Lou is drinking ice water, crunching cubes, as a young man enters, ragged and rangy. Lou waving him over. "Are you Richard?" "Rick. I'm Louis Bloom." "Hi, Lou." "Louis. Sit down." Rick sits, a broke hustler, loser's self-disgust. "I need someone who doesn't drink or do drugs." "Okay." "The situation is that I lost an employee, and I'm interviewing for a replacement." "Your ad didn't list what the job was?" "It's a fine opportunity for some lucky someone." Pulling a notepad. "I would like to know about your prior employment and hear in your own words what you learned from each position." "My old job? I did landscaping for a couple of months. Mow, blow, and go." Lou writing his answers in the pad. "I learned I had hay fever, so I quit." "Other jobs?" "I don't know. Week here, week there." "Why hire you? Sell yourself. Go." "Okay, well, I'm Rick, of course. I took 3 buses to get here. I finished high school, and I need a job. I'll do just about anything." "That's me. Hire Rick." "What's your address?" "I don't have one. Not permanent, I mean." "You're homeless?" I was for a while." "You trick." "Work the street?" "No, it wasn't a question. I'm straight. A lot of straight guys trick. Do you have a driver's license?" "Yeah." "Do you know LA?" "I grew up all around here." "Can you start tonight?" "Doing what?" "I run a successful TV news business. I film breaking stories. Maybe you saw my item this morning of a fatal carjacking." "I don't have a TV." "Do you have a cell phone?" "Yeah." "Does it have GPS?" "Yeah." Congratulations, you're hired. Your job will be to listen to the emergency radio, learn the police codes, help navigate, and watch the car. What's it pay? It's an internship. I can't do that. I need money. I'm giving you the chance to explore career options and gain insight into my organization. It's not at all unusual for me to make full-time job offers to my interns. I gotta get paid, at least something. I'll give you $30 cash per night. Okay, I guess. The sun sinks into the sea as police radio chatter plays over and isolates on 4A27 at Main and Washington, requesting code 10 for 1. Hollenbeck, stand by. 4A27, go ahead. 4A27 has requested a code 10 to clear the frequency for warrant information. 481 Prowler complaint, 6th and Rampart, male Hispanic wearing a blue shirt, incident 2156, RD 3265. Code 2 is respond immediately, no lights and sirens, and code 3 is with lights and sirens? Police radio chatter continues as a cell phone screen fills frame, a GPS map of Los Angeles, the user location pinging on a street in West Hollywood. 2A1 responding 6th and Rampart, code 2. Lou's car is parked in Hollywood, Lou at the wheel, Rick in shotgun. So, should we go? No, we want victims, not the kind that live on 6th and Rampart. An hour passes in seconds. Lou and Rick nearly motionless in the front seat. They listen to police radio chatter. And structure fire to Rick. Seatbelt, seatbelt, seatbelt. We view through the windshield, Lou driving hyperspeed through LA. Police radio blaring. Rick reading his GPS, calling directions, freaked by the speed. You're getting off at the next exit. Coming up. Slow down, man. Rick braces and grabs the dash as Lou takes the exit. Sparks flying as he brushes the guardrail. Too fast, dude. Where are we going? Left at the light. I'd like more warning next time. Lou skidding into a hard left turn. Talk to me, Richard. What next? Keeping on this 6 blocks and then a right. On what? Oh, I made a mistake. Shit, it was the next exit. Lou looks at him with a dead stare, pulling a screeching U-turn. We cut to fire trucks. They block a street. Cops stringing yellow tape. Lou hustles up to the action as he's filming, arriving late, seeing several freelance crews packing gear to go. Did they bring them out? Ambulance left 5 minutes ago. Lou filming a smoke-sooted driveway, gawking neighbors, firemen rolling hoses, nothing else to shoot and cut to. Lou's moving car. Lou is driving with Rick beside him, police radio playing. I bet I wasted $5 of gas just getting here. Or don't you think that's a lot of money? I'm sorry. Lou pounds the car horn. You were going too fast. I couldn't see the screen. Okay, first off, Richard, don't answer me by telling me a problem. I have enough of those already. Bring me a solution. Then we'll make a decision together. Well, maybe if you don't rush me? Don't rush you. Okay, good. I can use that. You see, Rick, they've done studies. They find that in any system that relies on cooperation, from a school of fish to, say, even a professional hockey team, for example, these experts have identified communication as the #1 single key to success. Later that night, Lou doing 80 miles per hour on a boulevard. Engine redlined. Police radio blasting. Rick on the verge of panic. Do you know what fear stands for? What? False evidence appearing real. You're going really fucking fast. Get out of your head, Rick. It's a bad neighborhood. Now when you have a chance, I need to know where I'm going. In a mixed neighborhood, police cars painting the night red, Lou films as he comes through a line of gawking neighbors. What happened? Who the fuck are you? Lou keeps filming, approaching an old neighbor. TV news, what's going on? There was a shooting. I counted 30 shots. Place is supposed to be boarded up. They don't fucking care. Lou still filming. Let's try it again without cursing. Thank you. So what's going on? I'm not doing it again. For TV. I don't have a TV. The old neighbor walks away. Lou goes to the police tape. Films cops outside an abandoned house. A freelancer passes, heading to his van. It's over. Shot the place to shit. Lou stops filming, walking back to the car when he has a view into the yellow-taped backyard, where he sees a white couple, outside a home adjacent to the shooting, a crying mom with a baby, cops examining bullet holes in the house exterior, as Lou opens the gate of the white couple's row home, going to the front door and knocking. But the owners are in the backyard with the cops, and Lou knows it, as he lets himself in. We cut to inside of the home. Lou filming, moving through the couple's house, zooming in on the stroller. He reaches the kitchen, where he sees a refrigerator photo of the couple with their baby. Lou pauses and moves the photo close to the nearby bullet hole. He resumes shooting. Lou sees mail on a table, grabbing a letter, and we cut to the KWLA newsroom. Lou, Nina, and Frank Cruz, packed in a cubicle, watching Lou's footage inside the house. The family photo beside the bullet hole. Great shot. Oh, that's fantastic. That's a great piece of tape. You didn't get an interview with the couple? I have footage of them. A clip appears. Faraway view of the young couple talking to the police in their backyard. I also have an interview with a neighbor. He curses, but you can cut that out. How did you get inside the house? The door was open. They allowed you? I heard someone yell to come in, but when I didn't find them inside, I left. The only shot of the owners is over a fence? The police were shutting it down. I don't like it. Like what? The footage looks like he broke in. He has no close-ups of the homeowners. Holding the letter that Lou took, and he's giving us their names off a piece of private correspondence. Excuse me, that's junk mail. Well, I have a problem with that. We'll knock out a killer package. This is my job. Your job is writing the tweet of the day and getting Deb to turn sideways during weather forecast. We're running it. Nina walks Lou onto the news set, text prepping. I like how you handled Frank. You didn't soften the truth or dilute it. I think being clear with your objectives is more important than trying to present ideas in a non-confrontational manner. You have experience in an office? Myself? Not presently, no. So, where'd you get all that? I study a lot online. Yeah? What? Lou circling the news set, taking it in as he talks. Well, all sorts of things, actually. I'm on my computer all day. I haven't had what you would call a formal education, but you can find most anything if you look hard enough. Last year I took an online business course, for example. I learned you have to make a business plan before starting a business, and that why you pursue something is as important as what you pursue. The site advised you to answer the following questions before deciding where to focus your abilities. The question was, what do I love to do? The site suggested making a list of my strengths and weaknesses. What are you good at? What are you not that good at? Maybe you want to strengthen and develop knowledge about the things you're already good at, or maybe you want to strengthen your weaknesses. I recently remade my list, and I'm thinking now that television news might just be something that I love, as well as something that I happen to be good at. Lou stops at the large high-def LA backdrop. On TV, it looks so real. Yes, it does. Well, I have a show to do. Your check is at the desk. Outstanding work, Lou. Really. Thanks, Nina. It means an awful lot. Nina leaves. Lou is alone, sitting in the anchor chair, staring into the black eyes of the camera. We cut to Mount Wilson, tallest antenna, churning KWLA theme song, and cut to Lou's apartment. Lou is close to the TV. KWLA intro playing, a montage of police chases, banking helicopters, and wailing ambulances. A Westchester couple and their newborn daughter narrowly escaped death overnight after being caught in a raging crossfire between suspected drug dealers that left 2 dead. Woman reporter outside the yellow-taped crack house. It's every parent's nightmare. Imagine singing a lullaby to your infant, tucking them in for sleep, and then shielding them as a barrage of high-powered bullets literally blast through your home. Well, for the Cahills of Westchester, that fear became a terrifying reality when an adjacent drug house was the setting for a scene right out of the Wild West. Lou's footage of the crime scene appears, soundtrack sweetened by sirens and barking dogs. A banner reads, KWLA exclusive, horror in Westchester. This sleepy Westchester lane erupted in gunfire at approximately 1:20 last night, with sheriff's deputies telling KWLA that over 30 shots were exchanged in a shootout that left 2 unidentified but alleged drug users dead in the foreclosed home behind me. But the horror was only beginning in the neighboring house where Robert and Kathy Cahill were left frantic, checking their baby daughter for injuries after the barrage shattered the safety, as well as their windows and rooms, with high-caliber bullets. The inside of the couple's house is seen, money shot of the family photo on the bullet-pierced fridge. Police investigators are now mounting a massive search for the gunman, with one senior official telling KWLA that it was a miracle innocent victims weren't injured or killed in the shootout. That official also conveyed concern for the very real possibility of more gunplay in other LA neighborhoods, urging all Southland residents to exercise caution by locking their doors and windows. The anchorman appears. Dina Rain live for us in Westchester. Later, Lou downloading the recorded news broadcast onto his computer, labeling the file Horror in Westchester. We time-lapse Lou's computer screen filling with files. Carjacking crime wave, horror in Westchester, nursing home nightmare, toddler stabbed, DWI crash claims 4, carjacking, woman dragged, murder-suicide in Duarte, botched SWAT raid, rampage in Reseda, fiery death, headless body in Carson, savage dog attack, businessman shot in garage, hammer slang, powerline electrocution, tractor-trailer crushes car, gas explosion in industry, restraining order murder, son stabs father, gang shooting high schooler, road rage death on 110, ATM killing, kidnapper kills victim, hate crime murder, missing mom, drive-by in Venice, parking lot rape, suicide by cop, airport body, coworker crushed, taught taken. The camera is closing on words in the continuing list. Killing, victim, shattered, bloody, botched, dreams, knife, brains, off-duty, crazed. At a gas station, during a gaudy sunset, Lou is wiping the windshield of his brand new red Challenger. Rick is filling the tank, pulling the pump as Lou runs over, furiously wiping some spilled gas. Rick, I'm really pleased with how you've progressed, and you're doing a great job. However, you just spilled gasoline on my car, which will eat the paint. I'd like you to tighten up on this a bit, because if you fill it like that again, I'm going to terminate you immediately. I promise you. Lou is driving. A dozen new emergency radios crammed onto the dash, overlapping chatter. Rick is glued to 2 computer screens, checking emergency band texts and locations, as Lou stops at a red light, eyeing the road, listening to the scanners, fingers drumming on the wheel, waiting for the right call. Rick glancing across the street. Crate and Barrel. That's a good store. Lou is not answering. Constant emergency chatter. Making peace with what you don't have. That's what it's all about. Living with what you ain't got, right? Don't you think? Traffic units, emergency traffic, Benedict Canyon. Overturned vehicle, crash with injuries. Crash with injuries. Good neighborhood. Lou runs the light. He bombs into the hills, and we cut to Benedict Canyon. A half-dozen cars stopped on a sharply curved uphill road. Panicked motorists mill by their cars. They talk on cell phones as the red Challenger appears. Driving the shoulder to the front of the line of stopped cars, Lou jumps out, already filming. To the freaked motorist. "TV news, what happened?" "Head on. They're dead." "Did you see it happen?" "No, after." "What exactly did you see?" "Bodies, blood." "Get that camera out of my face!" Lou is jogging up the road, coming upon the crash, and Lou sees one fatality in a crushed car. He spies another fatality ejected from a smashed truck. Body half hidden in the brush beside the road. Distant sirens. Lou goes over to the body in the car, props it into view, drapes it over the steering wheel. He runs into the brush and drags the second body by the leg onto the road. He positions a lifeless arm. Stepping back, from Lou's POV through the camcorder, he focuses on a shot of both bodies in the foreground. The red record light is on. Fire starting. Entangled cars becoming a bonfire as fire trucks and police start arriving. Lou goes up the embankment, shooting through the flames as a familiar van pulls up and two stringers, seen at the first car crash, jump out. Blocked by cops from coming close, Joe Loader in a Mayhem Video shirt spotting Lou filming. We cut to KWLA news set. As the wall clock ticks 5:54 a.m., anchors taking seats at the news desk, makeup artist applying touch-ups, cameras dollying in, weather girl practicing in front of a green screen, stage lights flooding on, as Lou, watching from the shadows, steps out of the way as a grip unspools electrical cable. Seeing Nina approach. Nina hands him a check. $1,500. Lou, speaking about the anchors. Scott Kim wears the same blue tie on Fridays. We're leading with it. That's your third start this week. I'm focusing on framing. A proper frame not only draws the eye into a picture, but keeps it there longer, dissolving the barrier between the subject and the outside of the shot. Is that blood on your pants? I don't think so. You know, I recently heard about a Mexican restaurant called La Cabanita. Have you heard of it? It's also on your sleeve. I didn't see that. Nina hands him a makeup towel, Lou wiping his sleeve. What I was asking is, do you like Mexican food, Nina? Yeah. Cabanita has been called an authentic taste of Mexico City. Most evenings there's live music, but on Saturdays, classic Mexican films are shown. Do you want to go with me? I think it would be fun if we went together. Thanks, but I'm busy. Saturday is your night off, isn't it? I have a rule, Lou. I don't date people I work with, and I'm twice your age. I like older women. Besides, I don't work with you. You're somebody I sell to. And I don't want to fuck that up. What if by saying no you fuck it up? Is that what you're saying? I didn't say that. I don't know what to say. The sun is ascending a sheet white sky. Lou leaving KWLA, walking to the Challenger. As the Mayhem Video van pulls to the curb, Joe emerges. Hey, Lou! Joe Loader, Mayhem. Lou keeps walking, Joe catching up. Great get tonight. They were closing it down by the time we showed up. Were you waiting for me out here? I was driving by and I saw your car. You need an air card if you really want to be a mobile station. Import the video to the laptop, cut the video, upload to your FTP site, notify the station you got something for sale. Boom, boom, boom. Lou listens, acting less interested than he really is. Otherwise, it's a nice ride. I had a 97 Challenger, but lost it in a divorce. The laws of California aren't friendly to alimony payments. You've got a good run going, but there are valleys out there, believe me. I've been night crawling 8 years. You hear I'm adding a second van? I didn't hear that. Gonna be a game changer. Cut our on-scene time in half. And I'm setting up a dedicated dispatch. No more listening and driving. You like the Canon 300s? I never used one. 6 thou a piece. 2.4 megapixel. Night vision, 18:1 zoom, image stabilizing. I got one with your name on it. I have a camera. I want you running my second van. 2 crews. Half the territory to cover. Now I know what you're thinking. Half the money. But it also means twice the sales, because we're going to be first at the scene. Why compete when we can work together? You can use my press cards, puppy dog off my police connections. This is the big move, the next level. We can corner this whole thing. I'm talking about putting some heavy digits in your pockets. Thank you for offering me the position, but I'm working for myself, and it's more in line with my skills and career goals. Take a few days to think about it. No, you'll need to hire someone else, and I don't want to hold up the process. You'll want to be on the inside of this. I'm going to be tag teaming every call. You keep talking like this is something I'm interested in, but I'm not. You don't even understand the offer. If you did, you'd be asking questions. What does this mean? What does that mean? I feel like grabbing you by the ears and screaming in your face that I'm not fucking interested. Instead, I'm going to drive home and do some accounting. Lou gets in the car, pulls away, and cuts to the Mexican restaurant. Crowded and loud, Mexican movies projected on walls. Lou and Nina eating at a table. I didn't wake up till 5. My body is so off, I feel like it's time for breakfast. I'm sure you're beautiful any time of day. In fact, I'd say you're much prettier than Lisa May's. I like the dark makeup on your eyes. I also like how you smell. Where are you from, Lou? The north end of the valley. Some of the calls sometimes take me over that way, but nobody I know is still out there. You're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. How did you know that? It's online. Everything about you is online. Well, not everything, but definitely a lot. I've watched all the videos from when you were a reporter. I'm sure you look at them, of course. God, no. Not without a drink in my hand. I watch my work all the time. Do you want to become a reporter? No. Most of you guys want airtime. Not me. I want to be the guy who owns the station that owns the camera. The business is doing well, but I'm ready to grow to the next level. To do that, I need to stay one step ahead of my competition and take risks. I also need financial support to implement expansion. Would you like another margarita? One is enough. Thanks for coming out to talk. The place I'm in now is that I want a relationship with someone I can team up with and share, like we share the same hours, the same job and whatnot. I could go down a laundry list, but you get the idea. Well, I hope you find someone. Here's the thing about that, Nina. I'm quite certain that I already have. Okay, let me put this politely. I only came out here to dinner with you, Lou, purely as a professional courtesy. Thank you, because I don't think it's a secret that I've single-handedly raised the unit price on your ratings book. Our ratings book price? I'm a very fast learner, Nina. We had a conversation, and I specifically mentioned that. Do you remember? Well, do you? Yes. I recently learned, for instance, that most Americans watch local news to stay informed. I also learned that an average half hour of Los Angeles television news packs all of its local government coverage, including budget, law enforcement, education, transportation, and immigration. That only takes 22 seconds. Local crime stories, however, not only usually lead the news, but filled 14 times the broadcast, averaging 5 minutes and 7 seconds. KWLA relies heavily on such stories. With Los Angeles crime rates going down, I think that makes items like mine particularly valuable, like rare animals. I imagine your needs will only increase during next week's ratings sweeps period. We certainly appreciate what you do. There's certain good things in being alone. You have time to do things that you want to do, like study and plan, but you can't have dinners like this, or be physical with a person. I mean, beyond flirtationship. Where are you going with this? I want that, with you. Like you want to keep your job and health insurance. Look, just for starters, I don't need you to keep my fucking job. You're the news director on the vampire shift at the lowest rated station in LA. I have to think you're invested in this transaction. Where did you even get the balls to suggest something like this? We're still talking. There's nothing more to say. You can leave. You've done well, okay? We pay you well, very well, and we always have. If you like, I can get you an exclusive retainer. That would be on top of your segment fees. I could maybe even get you a job at the station, starting as a production assistant so you can learn the business from the inside. That's where you said your interests lie. We could see where that goes. You're not listening, Nina. I happen to know you haven't stayed at one station for more than 2 years at a time. You're coming up on 2 years soon, so I can imagine you have a contract for that length of time. That ratings during next week will directly affect that. You're threatening if I don't. I'm negotiating. You're threatening to stop selling to me. That's your choice. The true price of any item is what someone is willing to pay. You want something, and I want you. To fuck you. And as a friend? Jesus Christ, friends don't pressure friends to fucking sleep with them. Actually, that's not true, Nina, because I'm sure you know. A friend is a gift you give yourself. Los Angeles, smudged in morning haze. The city sounds creeping in. We cut to a battery of sprinklers. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Over a manicured golf course. We cut to people in the park. A beach scene as night comes. We cut to a 20-foot-tall, neon-colored, inflatable dancing figure, writhing outside a gas station. The sound of an over-revved engine bleeding in. Time-lapse as night crashes down. The inflatable figure still writhing. A blast of wind and noise as the Challenger roars through nighttime LA. We cut to the inside of the moving car. Lou is slamming through corners. Rick is glued to the GPS, calling directions. Babble of emergency comm chatter blasting in surround sound. We pan the dozen scanners crammed on the dash, blinking and burping codes. LAPD citywide, TAC 1, TAC 2, TAC 3 to 5, Dispatch 1, TAC 1 to 3, LAFD Div, LAFD Div 2, San Fernando, TAC 1, San Fernando, TAC 2, San Fernando Fire, Chip Command, LAPD Air to Air. Left on Roth, then 6 blocks to the ramp. You're putting me on the 5? The 2 to the 5 to the 110 to the 10. Did you read my traffic memo yesterday? Did I read it? Yeah, I read it. What did it say about the 5? I looked at it, okay? What? Well, for one thing, it included that the 5 has floating construction in the fast lane for the next 3 weeks. So knowing that, I expected you to put me on the 2 to the 101 to the 110 to the 10. Half of one, 6 of the other. It's a half dozen of one, 6 of the other. What I'd like for you to admit is that you didn't read what you said you did. I think you know that I'm a reasonable person, but no one likes to be lied to. Yeah, well, when am I going to get my raise? I mean, that's reasonable, right? Like, you keep talking about this performance review, but when's that going to happen? 2 months and every night I'm here working my ass off. I'm tired of your promises for more pay, man. I'm sleeping in a fucking garage. Rick launches into a monologue for more money, his voice joining the overlapping emergency chatter. Lou glances at the speedometer needle, fluttering at 90, as the jumble of emergency scanners build. Machine gun staccato tragedy blending with Rick's appeal for the raise. Until, Rick, trying to leverage your salary in this economic environment is near impossible. Most firms have set starting wages. Ideally, you could leverage with other offers, but that is just not the case in your situation right now. Lou knows the music of the emergency bands as his hand darts and cranks the volume on San Fernando Police TAC 2. Task Force 98, Engine 91, North Division, Battalion 12, Heavy Rescue 56, Air Ops, respond to reported plane down, Whiteman Field, south of Foothill. Reroute us to that. Regarding the GPS screen, we're 22 minutes from Foothill and only 5 from the suicide. They're rolling heavy rescue and an air ambulance. Get me there, please. We see the remains of a plane burn in the weedy barrens beside a Foothill freeway. Full emergency response as the Challenger stops at a police perimeter set far from the scene. Lou gets out with the camera, blocked by police tape. He tries zooming to the wreckage, but he's too distant to register. Several other stringers arrive, also shut out of shooting anything saleable, as a figure emerges from inside the accident scene, carrying a camera. It's Joe Loader. Seeing Lou, he smiles. 5 fatals. Come screaming out of the fucking sky, all lit up with the brush on fire. Mine exclusive. I'm banging. Joe ducks under the police tape, pausing before Lou. Oh, and the other van's in Carson getting the jumper. I was trying to hook you up. I was trying to learn you. Welcome to the future, bruh. Inside the KWLA newsroom, things are busier than usual. Sweeps week, creating added energy. The clock reading 4:35 a.m. We cut to the control room, where the walls of screens are set to competing channels. Lou showing Nina the night's haul. Car accident on one monitor. None of this is going to knock anybody out. I can't use any of this in my lineup. Is this it? No. I have the stabbing in Corona. Where's the plane crash in Foothill? I don't mind saying that I'm trying to bring you stories that happen here on the ground. 4 has it. It'll be their lead. I hope they do well with that, but you should look at the Corona stabbing. I don't give a goddamn about fucking Corona. You know how important this week is? This shit is fucking death to me. I understand your frustration. I guess I'm trying to not be too hard on myself. I sold you upstairs as some kind of fucking sweep savior, and I'm leading with a goddamn stabbing in Corona. So you want that then? I want you to get in the goddamn game. I want something that people can't turn away from. I want what you fucking promised me. Sunny Bougainville blossoms, swarming with bees, bright, blinding flowers clinging to a telephone pole, as we go wider to show a back alley between apartment buildings, garages and garbage cans, sunlight angling to shadow the workday's ending, as a car pulls into a carport. A man gets out with a briefcase, enters a back door. Lou's Challenger drives past, parks behind a dumpster, and Lou steps out, scanning the empty alley before taking a wrench from his car. He moves to a line of open garages where the Mayhem video van is parked. A beat before Lou slides under the van, squeak of bolts turning. We cut to a moonlit canyon. Rustles and whispers of the night, wind through dry scrub, waves of cars and planes and ocean, pulsing over the earth. The electricity of existence drowned by the thundering down of the Challenger down the canyon road, power sliding through turns, descending into the glow of the valley, coming upon a much slower car. We cut to Lou driving, calmly berating Rick over the emergency radios. Since when did Laurel become faster than Coldwater? What was the thinking there? I didn't ask to hear myself speak, because Laurel only has 6 lights. Coldwater has places to pass. I can't get around this person in front of us until Ventura. It's the same argument. I said this route, and you should have said something if you wanted to take Coldwater. I thought you'd worked in other factors. If I didn't think you could do better, I wouldn't ride you about routes. You have to know that, Rick. I think it's just possible that I have higher opinions of you than you have of yourself. Lou is flooring it and passing the slower car on a blind turn. Pure chance the lane is clear. What the fuck? God damn it, seriously? To get to a van crash on Moore Park? Who cares, man? What's the rush? Why aren't we heading for the rape in Griffith Park like everyone else? Lou accelerating into a sharp turn. He cuts onto Ventura Boulevard. The Mayhem video van is wrapped around a telephone pole. Lou is filming the wreckage. Police waving traffic around. Paramedics pulling 2 broken bodies from the crash. Running up to Lou. Oh, fuck me, that's the Mayhem van. It's Joe and the other dude. What's his name? Oh yeah, fucking Marcus. What the hell happened? According to witnesses, they were driving at a high rate of speed, probably heading to Griffith Park, when they apparently ran head-on to this light pole. No other cars. Single vehicle. How did they just hit the pole? Jesus! Lou is filming Joe being carried. He's a god-awful mess. Don't film that, he's one of us. Not anymore. We're professionals, Rick. He is a sale. From the camcorder's point of view, Lou is filming Joe. The time display is 12:29 p.m. We cut to the Challenger, moving deep into the valley, as Lou drives fast on an empty boulevard. Emergency comm chatter. Dash clock reading 4:27. Man, we are way the hell out here. The speedometer rises to 80 miles per hour. Lou accelerates for a freeway on-ramp back to LA. We go close on San Fernando Tac 2. It stops on an emergency frequency, and we hear dispatch. Any mission units, residential 211 in progress, 8307 Bon Hill Road. Code 30 activation, units responding, respond code 3. Any air units come up on mission frequency for a residential 211 in progress. Armed response on a home invasion? We're 5 blocks away. Off the GPS. Pull a U-turn. Left at the next street. Lou is muscling a high-speed U-turn, flooring it. We cut to a cul-de-sac at the end of a tree-lined street. Big estates, behind high walls and greenery, as an over-revved engine is heard, and the Challenger blasts by a private street sign. We cut to Rick, watching the GPS ping approach the destination. Number 8307 at the end of the street, coming up. We beat the police. Lou power slides to a stop at an ivied wall, jumping out with the camera, filming as he sprints to an open gate. Lou enters the grounds, alarm heard. The house is big, and the lights are blazing. There's a dark car, angled by the open front door. 2 gunshots explode from inside, as Lou veers from entering the home, and a big man plows out, squeezing himself into the dark car. He pounds the horn. Lou's camera point of view films from the darkness as a second man runs out, blood streaking a cheek, jumping in the car and spraying of gravel. Taillights disappearing down the drive. Lou emerges, alone on the lawn, house door open, alarm wailing. Lou filming as he approaches and enters the home. We cut to the inside of the house. There's a shotgun on the marble foyer floor, and a sweeping staircase. A broad streak of red, where a body was dragged. The alarm is wailing and Lou is filming as he follows the blood trail into a living room. With a soaring ceiling and antiques, a dead Latin American woman shot in the chest, slumped on a sofa. Lou films as he moves deeper into the house. He enters a huge custom kitchen. Bullet-pocked appliances and wood paneling. A middle-aged white man, in his underwear, a pool of spilled soda. He makes a slight gasping sound, and Lou shoots the scene, utterly unaffected. As he circles back, Lou leaves the kitchen back to the foyer, taking in the sweeping staircase and moving quickly up the curved carpeted steps to the second floor. He films a dropped shotgun with a pistol stock and follows a new blood trail down a broad hall and enters a bedroom, decorated to a high degree, where a white woman is dead from multiple gunshots, sprawled on a sleigh bed with designer sheets. Lou films from several angles before backing out and crossing the hall. He walks into a nursery. Fit for a prince. It's dim, and a nightlight projects a rotating star pattern. On the ceiling as Lou films, a crib. Storybook wallpaper. There's no sign of a baby, and the alarm doesn't stop. Lou works fast and efficiently. He is shooting every detail before leaving the nursery and hurrying back down the hall. He rapidly descends the stairwell to find Rick, standing scared in the foyer near the open door. "What's going on?" "We're leaving." Lou exits and Rick follows. We cut to Lou, jogging down the driveway toward the front gate, as approaching sirens are heard in the distance. "What's in there? What's going on?" "You should have walked in and looked, Rick. If you were half curious, that's what I'm paying you to do. You need to show initiative. There's no better way to achieve job security than by making yourself an indispensable employee." "I heard gunshots and there was fucking blood on the floor." "All the more reason. You might have helped me. You might have learned a new skill that made you more useful, put us on track towards growth." Lou jumps in the car as Rick follows. The Challenger donuts in the cul-de-sac and speeds down the private street, disappearing into the night. Flashing police lights appear from the other direction. 3 police cars cut down the cul-de-sac, with sirens screaming. We cut to the KWLA studio sign blazing against the night, as Lou pulls up outside the station, turning to Rick. "Step outside for a minute." "Why?" "Because I asked you to." Rick gets out, and Lou downloads the camcorder to his laptop, fingers flying. Close on the computer screen, as Lou edits out the 2 fleeing assailants. He fast-forwards to the wounded man in the kitchen, editing out the moment he gasps. We cut to Nina in the glassed-in conference room, leading a pre-broadcast meeting with her staff, as Lou enters the newsroom. Eye contact. Nina stepping out, draining a cup of coffee. "I've been trying to reach you for the last hour. In the future, when you don't have anything, man up and don't dodge my fucking calls. It's a waste of my time." "I do have something." "What?" "I have a home invasion triple murder in Grenada Hills." "That's just breaking now." "We got there before the police." "You have it?" "I'm not going to list the many benefits of this piece. I think it's best that you probably just watch it yourself." "I could have had someone out there by now. Why didn't you call it in?" "To increase your need and improve my bargaining position." Nina into the conference room. "Frank, Jenny, Bay 2, now." Lou follows Nina down the hall. We cut to the home invasion footage. Starts out on the main screen in an editing bay, beginning with Lou already outside the house. We go close on the faces of Nina, Frank Cruz, and a young producer named Jenny, viewing his work. Curiosity, horror, gasps as Lou watches behind them, proud to the point of serene, as Nina picks up a phone. "Get Linda in here." Carnage on the screen is reflected in their expressions. As Linda enters, middle-aged, managerial, crammed close, unblinking gaze, hard eye. "Home invasion in Grenada. He got there before the cops. I think it's 10 minutes to airtime. How much of this can we show?" "You mean legally?" "No, morally." "Yeah, of course legally." "Have they been identified?" "It just happened, so you have to assume no. And that's just one of the issues." "Well, you can't broadcast their identities without notifying next of kin. We're not identifying them. We are by proxy by showing their faces. We pixelate the faces." "Where did you get this?" "Stringer." Lou extends his hand. "Hello, Linda. I'm Lou." She looks at the screen. "Oh, Jesus, is there a dead baby inside there?" "No, the crib was empty." "For Christ's sake, are we breaking the law by showing this?" "Block the faces. Don't give the exact home address." "Do that, I guess. I wouldn't think so, no." "Journalistically and ethically? This isn't Hartford. Lou looks at the monitor. Well, that's mostly it right there. From this point on, I just went downstairs and then I left. To Nina. What did you pay for this? The price hasn't been negotiated. Nina stabs the freeze frame button. Give us a minute, please. Thank you. The others leave, closing the door. How much? 100,000. How much? 50,000. I air in 9 minutes. I need a number. I've given you 2. 5,000. I got 5 for the food truck stabbings. There were more dead. Those were poor Mexican people in a roach coach. 2 of them were illegals. These are 3 wealthy white people shot and killed inside their mansion, including a suburban wife shotgunned in her bed. I know you, Nina. I know your interest and excitement in this product is greater than the amount you're offering. 7,500. 35,000. 8,000. 25,000. 9,000. 25,000. 10,000. 15,000. 10,000. 15,000. Give me a serious number. 15,000, and that's the absolute lowest that I'll go. I can't do it. It'll never happen. It's a matter of precedent. 10 is my last offer. Best offer. Lou stands to leave. Okay. Stop. Where are you going? 7 has approached me at least several times. The ND there gave me his card. I think 7 will offer more. It's a 5-minute drive. Hold on. God damn it. 12. 15. I can't spend a month's budget on a single story. What if the story is not over? The people who did this escaped. They're still out there, walking around with the rest of us. If I had a family and I lived in a home, that might make me nervous. I would want updates on what was going on. With this footage, people will turn to your channel for the story. Now, I like you, Nina. I look forward to our time together. But you have to understand that 15 isn't all that I want. From here on, starting now, I want my work to be credited by the anchors and on a burn. The name of my company is Video News Productions, a professional news gathering service. That's how it should be read. That's how it should be said. I also want to go to the next rung and meet your team and the anchors and the director and the station manager. Begin developing my own personal relationships. I'd like to start meeting them this morning. You'll take me around and you'll introduce me as the owner and president of Video News and remind them in some of my many other stories. I'm not done. I also want to stop our discussion over prices. This will save time. So when I say a particular number is my lowest price, that is my lowest price. You can be sure that whatever that price is, I've arrived at it very carefully. Now when I say I want these things, I mean that I want them, and I don't want to have to ask again. And the last thing that I want, Nina, is for you to do the things that I ask you to do when we're alone together at your apartment, not like the last time. Nina is staring. Now, tell you what, I have the van crash on Moore Park tonight. It was a couple of stringers, actually. That could lead by itself on an average night. I'd be willing to throw that in for free. So, what do you say? Do we have a deal? On the news set, Nina is introducing Lou to Ken and Lisa, sitting at the news desk, minutes from airtime. We cut to a wall of monitors, a dozen local TV broadcasts. A clock clicks 6 a.m. 7 channels switch to local news and close on KWLA, main monitor. The usual intro is replaced by pulse-pounding music and a red banner, warning, breaking news. We go wider to show the control room, where Nina oversees a director, production assistant, and a technical director operating the control board. 10 to open. Standby 12. Track red. Where's the title? I don't think we decided on one. Horror House. What did we talk about? Slug it on the brake. And 5, 4, 3, roll camera, 2, 1. Fade lower frame. The tech director fading the graphic to the bottom of the screen. the anchors appear. This is KWLA Breaking News. In the last half hour, we have received word of an apparent home invasion, triple homicide, in Grenada Hills, area of San Fernando Valley. At present, that is the number of those dead, has not been confirmed by police, but KWLA has obtained exclusive footage from inside the crime scene, in which at least 3 bodies can be observed. We are going to show segments of that footage throughout the broadcast and throughout the day, as we break for police updates and information. Again, we are about to show exclusive KWLA footage from inside the crime scene. Nina keying the anchor woman's earpiece. It's graphic. Repeat it. Before broadcasting this video, we want to warn viewers that these are extremely graphic images. We have obscured the address and the faces, as well as any identifying details. Apart from that, this is mostly raw and unedited actual footage, again, of a triple homicide home invasion that just occurred in upscale San Fernando neighborhood of Grenada Hills. Hit it hard, harder, and then roll. We have a team of KWLA reporters setting up at the scene that we will be speaking with shortly after we show, and I must repeat, is extremely graphic footage. I'm hearing from the control room that we have that footage and we're going to cue it up now. Lou's footage fills the frame. Superimposed, the credit reads, Video News Productions, a professional news gathering service. Lou watching from the shadows, dreams blossoming. This footage was obtained exclusively by KWLA from Video News Productions, a professional news gathering service. It begins on the premises, inside the house, and this is what appears to be blood on the floor of the residence, leading onto what apparently is the living room or living area. There is the first body, restrained it seems to a chair. Again, the faces have been blurred. They escaped. They're on the loose, Nina says into her earpiece. That is the first of what we understand are 3 bodies in the home of Grenada Hills. The result of what early reports suggest was a home invasion or robbery committed by a suspect or suspects who are at this time believed to have escaped, who are still out there, and that's a frightening thought. We intercut with Nina keying the anchorman's earpiece. Repeat that. It's very concerning, particularly given the savagery of what we're seeing. That looks to be the kitchen where you can see another body on the floor. And again, I want to repeat because it bears repeating. The people or person who committed this brutal home invasion robbery are presently unidentified and at large. That has to be a great worry, not only to residents in the Grenada Hills area, but all of Greater Los Angeles. The entire Southland, absolutely. Lou is watching from the dark, footage on display. That's the 3rd body, there in the bed of the home in Grenada Hills. A vicious attack. The only thought I have, the feelings I have, is the viciousness, the severity of the violence. An apparent family attacked and savagely killed in their own home in what is one of the quieter and safer, frankly, most expensive neighborhoods in the valley, in Los Angeles, by unknown assailants who have committed a vicious attack in this upscale enclave. That's a nursery there and a crib. Nina over the earpiece. Build it. And that's a child's room. You just pray that there's nothing in that crib. Tension builds until Lou's tape shows the crib is empty. Oh, thank goodness. My understanding is there was no baby found in the house, or any baby that was seen by the people who filmed this. Video News, a professional news gathering service that apparently arrived before the police and entered the home to help or offer assistance, and came upon the crime scene that we're watching now. Nina over earpiece. We're cutting to commercial. then going to Joel and a police statement. And I'm getting word the police are getting ready to make a statement from the scene. Joel Beatty is there for that. I think we're now going to take a break from this graphic footage, with much more to come on the vicious home invasion triple murder in Grenada Hills. And we'll be back after this. The monitor cuts to a commercial as a makeup person darts out to touch up the anchors. We cut to the control room. The director is sitting back as an upbeat ad plays. That's a 10 share. I want theme music on the return, the score we used for the Simi rail crash. Production assistant scrambling, scrolling a computer. As the control room phone rings, Nina answers. Hello? Oh, thank you. Well, actually, he asked to meet you. Nina glancing at Lou. Lou watching the anchors get touched up. One of the monitors. We go close on another monitor. As a live feed cues from outside the crime scene, Joel Beatty preparing for a report. Picture. Joel speaks to the monitor. The police spokesman's making an announcement in 60 seconds. We'll break it. Breaking in 30. Two-shot number 1. We're going back. I gotta go. Nina, we're getting a ton of heat from the police out here on that video. Nina, are you there? Hello, Nina? Nina hangs up, keying communication from the live feed. They can call the station. 15 seconds. They want to talk to who shot it. Lou going close, speaking directly to Joel on the monitor. I shot it. It's Video News Productions. You can give them my number. Lou, he can't hear. It's not directional. Back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The commercial fades, and the anchors return. Banner on the screen reading KWLA exclusive, Horror House. Theme music, a score suitable for slaying dragons. We cut to Mount Wilson at dawn. We cut to Los Angeles, brightening. We cut to Lou in his apartment. Sitting on the side of his tightly made bed watching TV news, the continuing building story of a triple homicide home invasion. There's a knock on the door. Lou stands, unlocking it and opening it to reveal a woman wearing a jacket and pants, a gold shield on her belt. There's a man in a suit standing beside her. I'm Detective Frontieri. This is Detective Lieberman. Hello, I'm Lou. You live here? Yes, that's right. May I come inside? Why? Why not? You want to? Yes. I don't care. Wonderful. Entering Lou's apartment and looking around. You were in Grenada Hills last night. You shot the video in the house. Yes, ma'am, I did. That's right. You went inside the house and you filmed all through the house. You even filmed the bodies, all before the police came? The door was open, ma'am. Detective. It was open, and what I did was I went in to see if I could help because the alarm was ringing. An active crime scene. I didn't know it was a crime scene. You knew what it was. I know alarms mean someone might be in trouble. You sold it to be shown on TV. We are a professional news gathering service. What did you see when you arrived? 2 men leaving in a car. What kind of car? It was dark. I couldn't see what kind. Describe the men. Well, they were just shapes, really. I was afraid, so I hid, and then I saw the shapes of 2 men. I remember the men were running, if that helps. Do you have film of the men or the car? No, I don't. I didn't start filming until I was inside. I'd like a copy of that footage. Do I have to give it to you? Is there a reason you wouldn't? No, I made you a copy. I expected someone to come. Lou takes a zip drive from the drawer and hands it to her. We'll be in touch. The detectives leave, Lou filling a glass and watering the weedy plant on the windowsill as he watches the detectives drive off. Lou pulls his computer from under his bed, turns it on. The unedited crime scene video begins. From when he arrived at the house, the two masked men seen fleeing. One big, the other's mask is ripped, face bleeding. We freeze frame on the man, features visible. Lou downloads it. He freezes on the car. Lou zooms, heightening contrast. The license plate is seen. Lou jots the number, turns to his computer and types license plate search. He scrolls down dozens of internet ads offering to identify car owners from government records. Lou types. We angle on the TV. The TV news broadcast transmitting dread and danger. We cut to Los Angeles in bright sun. Sound of overlapping TV news broadcasts, building a frenzy of home invasion fear. Day passing. As the fog rolls in, it closes over the city like a sideways curtain. Darkness descends and cut to a busy Los Angeles boulevard. As emergency comm chatter rises, louder and louder, until the Challenger passes fast, weaving around slower cars. We cut to Lou driving, Rick shotgun. Dash clock reading 8:24 p.m. I'm tired. Why are we starting so early? One of the people in the house last night was alive. I cut that part out. I also cut out the men leaving in their car. I have a name and an address. We're going to drive there and find the person who drove that car. You know who killed those people? One of them, quite possibly, yes. You gotta call the cops. And we will, at the right time. I'm offering you a real opportunity, Rick. To do what? I don't usually share my business plan with you, but a moment has arrived that could allow the company to make enough money to expand to the next level. I would call this a critical moment. I'm inviting you, Rick, to be part of the team that pounces on this opportunity. Lou stopping at a light, looking at Rick. You've been asking a lot about your performance review. Well, for starters, I'm seeing a great improvement with regards to your overall focus and order following. Given complex problems, you're developing a real ability to find clear, simple solutions. I'm also aware of your increased enthusiasm. It's great to see how your eyes light up when you're working on a new idea. I hope you'll be inspiring us with your innovative thinking for years to come. Thanks, man. I'm trying. Which is why I'm promoting you to Executive Vice President of Video News. What am I now? You're an assistant. Does it come with a raise? Absolutely. How much? Pick a number. $75 a night. Agreed. What about more? Well, not now. We closed the deal. I could have gotten more, couldn't I? In East Los Angeles, foggy and forlorn, the Challenger passes, drives down a street of box homes with fences and gated windows. We cut to inside the Challenger. The scanners are turning low. Rick is watching the GPS. It's halfway down the block, coming up on the right. Here, 3657 North Burns. Lou pulls up, parking behind a dumpster, angles on the dark car. From the home invasion. Tucked behind a bleak row home as Lou looks through the camcorder. Night vision view, zooming tight on the license plate. That's the car? That's the car. Oh shit, you think there's a reward? There is a reward. How much? $50,000. Do I get any of it? I just gave you a raise. That's salary, I'm talking about a bonus. Bonuses come at the end of the year. Lou is staring across the street. Clock clicking 8:48 p.m. So, we're going to call it in, right? We're going to wait. For what? First, we want to make sure he's actually inside. Then we want to find a more interesting place to film the arrest. Where? Anywhere we want. What we're going to do is wait for him to leave. Then we're going to follow him. When he reaches what would be considered a better or more populated neighborhood, we'll report his location to the police. He's a violent, wanted criminal. I have to believe he's not just going to peacefully surrender. Okay, I want more money. A lot more. What makes a job desirable isn't just the dollar amount attached to it, Rick. You're on the ground floor of a growing business. Your reward is a career. Fuck that. You're talking about some fucked up shit and you're asking me, well, you expect me to just be part of it. I can't make people do things, Rick. You have a choice to do this, and I have a choice if you don't. You're threatening to fire me? Hey, I got something too. Not calling criminals in, waiting for them to start shit so you can film it? That's against the fucking law. The cops will be majorly interested. No fucking doubt. I want more money. We can reopen negotiations, Rick. But remember, when it comes to your work reputation, you can't unring the bell. I want half of whatever we make tonight. How did you arrive at that number? There's two of us sitting here, 50-50. I'll counter at $10,000. You don't set the numbers on this. I want half. If you're saying I can't negotiate, then I guess I have to give it to you. All right then. Now I feel good about it. Now I'll go the extra mile. You never understood that. That's been the problem. You gotta bring people in, man. I'm serious. You gotta talk to them like they're human beings. I'm saying this to help you, dude, for the future, because you got a serious weird-ass way of looking at shit. You know you do. I mean, you know what your trouble is? You don't fucking understand people. Lou stares at him, listening. Calm chatter beat. Now, I'm gonna take a nap now. We can do shifts. Now that we're working together. Rick reclining in his seat. He shuts his eyes. The screen goes black. The murmur of emergency chatter. Doppler of distant sirens. Wake up. Rick opens his eyes. The same scene, the dash blinking 12:24 a.m. Lou, as we left him, staring across the street, still as a statue. He's leaving. The man from the home invasion comes out, face scratched, climbing into the car and driving off. Is that him? That's one of them. Lou starts the Challenger. We cut to a broad boulevard of forever stretching traffic lights, flashing in fog, as the car pulls down a street, stops at an apartment building. Lou kills the headlights and parks to observe. You're too fucking close, man. Shit, the guys might have seen us and brought us here as a trap. You ever think of that? Lou watches as the large man from the home invasion exits the apartment building. Backing into the car, he's so big. The car pulls out. Lou follows. We cut to inside the Challenger. The scanners are burbling. GPS blinking. Lou following. Unblinking gaze. We cut to the car, driving into a gas station. The car stopped at a traffic light. We cut to the car, pulled into a bright, busy fast food restaurant. The two men go in. We cut to inside the Challenger. Lou parks outside, opens his phone. 911, what's your emergency? Yes, good evening, hello. I'd like to report the location of the two men responsible for the home invasion murder in Grenada Hills last night. What's your address? I followed them, and they just pulled into a restaurant. It's called Chinatown Express at Western and 3rd. I can see them inside. Okay, this is Chinatown Express at Western and 3rd. That's right. I can see them at the counter and they're ordering. These are the men wanted for the triple murder in Grenada Hills last night. What's your name, sir? Louis Bloom. Do you have a description of the men? Yes, I do. They're both Latin American. What you'd probably call Hispanic. One's big, very much on the heavy side. The other's face is scratched. He has a red scratch across his face. How old are the men? I would say they're 30, maybe 35. What are they wearing? The big man is wearing sweatpants with a camouflage pattern and a white t-shirt. The man with the scratches is wearing black pants and a white tee. He looks like he has a gun. The suspect is armed? I believe so, yes. I'm sorry, I have to hang up, otherwise they might see me. Lou hangs up and turns up LAPD Div 1. From the scanner. All Wilshire units, possibly 187 suspects there right now, Western and 3rd at Chinatown Express. Suspects are 2 male Hispanics, number 1 large build, number 2 with scratches on his face, inside the location possibly armed. Code 3, incidents 3577, RD 9773. Lou reaching in the back seat, pulling the camera, as Rick looks from the scanner to the restaurant. The 2 men waiting online to order. There's fucking people in there. I count 6. Oh shit, man, they could start shooting. They could. You said we were waiting for a better neighborhood with more people, not a fucking crowded restaurant. We work with what we're given. Lou hands Rick a small camcorder. You're going to go around and get an angle inside from those dumpsters over there. Steady hands, use the zoom, and no fast pans. I'll be filming from here. Fuck that, I'm not leaving the car. I want a second angle from behind the dumpsters. We can cut them together. 2 angles. Believe me, it's much more dangerous here in the car. I don't believe anything you say. This is fucked. Do you know that I've never once cursed in front of an employer? I'm not going out there. I'm not doing it. You're making a mistake. I don't care about my fucking title. What if my problem wasn't that I don't understand people, but that I don't like them? What if I was the kind of person who was obliged to hurt you for this? I mean, physically. I think you'd have to believe afterward, if I could, that agreeing to participate and then backing out at a critical moment was a mistake. Because that's what I'm telling you, as clearly as I can. Rick takes the camcorder, gets out of the car, close on Lou, who powers his camera, wipes the lens, looking through. From the camera's point of view inside the restaurant, a perfect view through plate glass, the 2 men at a table, waiting for their order. We pan to Rick in shadow behind the dumpster, looking inside. As Lou glances in the rear view, he sees a police car silently slide into the parking lot. Lou presses record. Lou zooms tight on the 2 men inside the restaurant sitting at a table. He zooms to the 2 policemen as they enter, passing the 2 men at the table. Going to the counter, we see on the camera viewfinder the 2 cops at the counter, looking up at the menu, conferring about food. Lou is unsure what's happening, zooming in on the cops, seeing them talk between themselves at the counter. Utterly casual. Lou pans to the 2 men at the table, talking while they await their order. Lou watching and waiting, nothing happening, as Rick films from the second angle. Glued to his viewfinder, the 2 men and the cops only 15 feet apart. Lou is staring, not understanding, zooming in closer to see the heavy man's hand slide beneath the table and rest by his waistband. Lou pans to the cops to see one of the cops spotting the move, hand settling on his hip near his gun, body language of both cops changing as the angle slightly from the counter, still pretending to decide what to eat. Rick filming as the second police car pulls up and 2 more cops emerge. Lou's camera shifts to the second police car, 2 cops radioing their arrival, slowly approaching the front door, hands on holsters, stepping inside, as Lou zooms in. As the heavy man spots the 2 cops coming through the door, an electric beat. Then the heavy man stands while drawing the gun. The next happens in seconds. Heavy shoots the lead of the 2 arriving cops, who fires and shoots Heavy as he falls. Scratched Face begins a gun battle with the 2 cops at the counter. Both cops hit. windows shattering, as Scratched Face is hit in the shoulder, propels himself through the broken glass, crashing outside. Guns blazing, leaping in the Escalade and speeding away as one of the cops sprints around the front, firing at the fleeing Escalade. The Escalade navigates a sharp right-hand turn. Lou starts the engine, car leaping forward. Lou stopping in the street as Rick jumps in, clawing to close the door, as a police car wails into view. Cops on the street waving it down the alley, as Lou fishtails in pursuit, nearly hits the cops. Oh fuck, oh my god! Did you get it? There's people dead in there! The scanner's blaring comm chatter of the shooting and locations as Lou floors it, eyeing the following police car and escaping car's taillights. Aim the camera at the car and start filming. This is fucking fucked! Film the car. I'm relying on you to deliver a winning performance, Rick. Speed climbing as they skid onto third. Rick starts filming as they trail the police car. Close behind, pursuing. Wide angle, get it all, nice and centered. Speedometer sweeping through 80, 90, 100, as the scanner wails. 7A27, we just turned northbound on Western, requesting backup and an air unit. Any air unit come up on Wilshire frequency. Northbound 70 miles an hour, approaching a fresh red. Black Escalade. Give me an ETA on the air unit. Stand by. Heading north on Western. Another red. They approach an intersection. A car appears going fast, sailing into view. Broadsides the police car directly in front of us. The two cars tumble away. 7A27, come in. 7A37, come in. No response from 7A27. Lou cranking the volume, filling the car with overlapping scanners. Lou barreling by the crash. Rick filming through the passenger window. Lou is the charioteer of a hyperspeed weaving train of madness. Destruction in the rear view, dollars ahead. Cut to an intersection of two major avenues. Fast traffic taking the lead as a police car skids through directly in front of the Escalade. The Escalade ramming into the police car from behind several times, accelerating it and launching it sideways. The police car crashes violently as the Escalade veers, losing control. We get a split-second view of an explosion of glass and steel as the Escalade crashes head-on into a line of parked cars. We cut to Lou, who brakes hard, and he's heading straight for the truck at 90 miles per hour. But Lou cuts the wheel at the last second, and the Challenger threads the wreckage, comes to a stop 100 feet away. As Lou jumps out with his camera and calls to Rick, "Let's go. Get up there and film it." Lou jogging toward the mangled chase car as Rick follows, frightened but filming with the camcorder. Lou's camera point of view, zooming on the crashed chase car. The scratched-faced driver is glimpsed in the wreckage, bloody. From Rick's view, he films through the windshield of the crashed SUV as the scratched face raises the gun, aims, and shoots. Bam, bam, bam! As Rick takes 3 shots point blank to the chest. The cops open up from the opposite direction, firing dozens of shots. We cut to Lou, filming, as Scratched Face is shredded. Frantic law enforcement overkill, collapsing back into the wreckage as the cops swarm Lou, who backs away and approaches Rick, flat-backed on the pavement, bloody, breathing his last. Lou zooms close as Rick speaks. "You saw him." Lou stops shooting and crouches down. I can't jeopardize the company's success to retain an untrustworthy employee. You're crazy. You took my bargaining power, Rick. You used it against me. You'd have done it again. Just admit it. I don't know. Well, I know. Rick dies as Lou looks up and sees emergency vehicles coming from all directions. Lou taking Rick's camcorder and walking through a swarm of first responders and speed dialing his cell, climbing into the Challenger and pulling away. We cut to the KWLA sign, blazing through fog, neon letters humming with current as the Challenger speeds into the parking lot. Lou exiting with the 2 cameras. Cut to inside the station. Lou strides through the newsroom, straight and tall, saying hello to people as he walks by. Hello, Dean. Hello, Meredith. Hello, Jenny. Good evening, Charles. People nod as Lou passes the anchors coming from makeup. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Ken. Hi. Hey, Lou, right? Video news. Yes. Hello, nice to see you. Got anything good for us tonight? I think so. I'm actually on my way to show it to Nina right now. I can tell by your tie it's Friday. Ken laughs as he and Lisa continue down the hall. Cut to the editing bay. Nina and the editor sit in darkness, watch Lou's footage in stunned silence. Sirens and crash sounds, brakes and gunshots coming from the screen. Close on the monitor as the footage ends with Rick dying on the pavement. Nina to the editor. You can go. The editor leaves and Nina turns to Lou. In the shadows. Wasn't that your partner? As a matter of fact, that's him. Well, I'm floored. It's amazing. Thank you. Just amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for bringing it to me. You're welcome. I want it, obviously. How much do you want it? You tell me. As the news set lights flood on and cut to the control room, busy with Lou's footage on several screens, Nina riding herd, as Tex slug segments set music, copy typed, as the wall clock clicks 5:56 a.m. Detective Frontieri and her partner come through the door, look around, and see the footage on the screen. Detective Frontieri to an assistant. Who's in charge here? The assistant points to the director. Who are you? Who are you? Showing her badge. LAPD, major case. Pull the footage on these screens. Round it up, let's go. All copies. Can I help you? You can help yourself by collecting up every copy you have of the shootout, the chase, the crash, all of it, now. It's KWLA property. It's evidence. Of what? I got a cop near death in the hospital. 2 dead and 4 wounded. A dozen major crimes stretching a mile of third. That tape is evidence. It's news footage bought and paid for from an independent contractor. How do you think he got it? If there's an issue, speak to him. Don't get in the way of this. Unless you have a judge's order, we're going with it in 4 minutes. A charged beat as the second detective looks at the wall of monitors and sees Lou on one of the screens, standing in the soundstage, staring at a live shot projection of the weatherboard of sunrise over Mount Wilson, and, hey, isn't that him? Seeing Lou now, to Nina. I'll make a note of your refusal to cooperate. The detectives leave. We go close on a control room monitor. As the detectives are seen entering the soundstage, Nina watches them roughly arrest Lou, handcuffing him, escorting him out a side entrance. Frank enters the control room and approaches her. Joel's got a source in the sheriff's department who says they've found drugs at the Grenada Hills house, cocaine in wrapped packages, hidden in a crawl space, over 50 pounds. He's confirmed it with an investigator at the scene. It wasn't a home invasion, it was a drug robbery. Give it to the noon crew. This is news. It detracts from the story. It is the story. The story is urban crime creeping into the suburbs. Innocent victims. That's the story. Jesus, you sound like Lou. I think Lou is inspiring all of us to reach a little higher. 60 seconds. Nina donning a headset. I want a banner on a wraparound and music through the dissolve. Okay, Bill, if you'd like to put Joel up on 3 before you forget. 45 seconds. 45 seconds to show. It'll probably be coming out of edit 4. 20 to the roll, 30 to the show. Stand by 12. After the break, ready to roll 33. 15 to the roll. We'll be coming to you with a box. 10, 9, 8, 5 seconds, 4, 3. Put it up with the track. Big energy. The main monitor as the commercial ends and a banner graphic appears. KWLA breaking news. Driving, end of humanity score, and cut to a video view of an interrogation room. Lou alone, calm and seated as Detective Frontieri enters, sits across, cut to inside the room where Lou and Detective Frontieri regarding each other. You understand you've been read your rights and you're here voluntarily? That's right, yes. That this is being recorded and filmed? From the camera up there, yes? Wide angle. Would you tell me how it is you were at the Chinatown Express tonight and called in the 911? Of course, I'm happy to. It began earlier in the day. I was watering my plant, and I looked out the window of my apartment, the one you visited. I saw a dark-colored car with 2 men parked across the street. I didn't think much about it, otherwise I would have reported it then. We began our night, myself and my employee, and around approximately 12:38 I looked in the rearview mirror and saw that we were being followed by what looked to be the same men in the same car. I made an evasive maneuver, circled back, and tailed them to the Wendy's, at which time I witnessed them go inside, and I recognized them as the men from the home invasion. You told me you didn't see the men, that you didn't get a good look at them. Well, it came back to me when I saw them going in, their shapes and their movements. Then I saw that one of them had a gun under his shirt, and so of course I immediately got my phone and I called 911. And started filming. Exactly, that's what I do. That's your story. That's what happened. That's why I'm here talking to you. I think they tracked me down after seeing my footage. Would you like to know what I think? Yes, please. I think you withheld information. I think you saw the 2 men at the murder house in Grenada Hills. You saw the car, and you sat on it to start something so you could film it. What do you think about that? I think it would be very unprofessional for someone to do that in my business. It would be murder. I can understand why you're looking into it, but I didn't do anything like that. Nothing that could be considered wrong. You left the scene of an accident. I wasn't involved in the accident. I avoided it and stopped. You don't fool me for a minute. I'm glad. I think everything you've said is a lie. I wish my partner were here to support what happened. Your dead partner. That's right. You left your dead partner. The ambulances had arrived. They're trained professionals. You seem real broken up about it. He died doing what he loved. You filmed him dying. That's my job. That's what I do. I like to say, if you're seeing me, you're having the worst day of your life. A video close-up of Lou's face, waiting for the next question. We cut to sunrise over Los Angeles, as Lou leaves the police station and squints at the sky. He stops on the sidewalk to listen to the music of 911 coming from a parked police car, the window down, cops inside giving him a look. Lou smiles and starts down the street, blending with other passers-by, dissolved to an island of fluorescent light in a gas station parking lot where 2 new vans stand side by side, both bearing the logo Video Production News, a professional news gathering service. Two young men and a young woman stand outside the vans, each wearing matching shirts with the Video News logo. As Lou steps into the light, looks them over. "Tuck your shirt in, Bob, please." "Thank you." One of the employees tucks in his shirt. Lou addressing them. "Congratulations. Your selection by Video News Productions is evidence of the hiring committee's recognition of your employment history and unique personal qualities. It is my hope that through hard work and commitment, you will move through the intern program and continue to pursue your career goals as full-time employees of Video News. I can tell you from experience that the surest way up the ladder is to listen carefully and follow my orders. You may be confused at times, and at other times unsure, but remember that I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself." The three employees staring at him. That's it. Lou climbs into one van, followed by one of the employees. The other two get into the second van, engines start, and the two vans head into the Los Angeles night in opposite directions. Sound of emergency comm chatter filtering in and hold as the moon breaks the rim of the mountains. Antennas on Mount Wilson, framed in silhouette. Perpetual police chatter, heard over as credits roll. The moon climbing into the night. The end. Alright, that about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like so other people can find the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next movie reading.